Every day, thousands of fishing boats brave the open seas, facing unpredictable waves and constant motion. What if this natural motion could be turned into a reliable source of power? Tide Volt captures kinetic energy and transforms it into electricity, charging onboard batteries that power essential systems. With continuous power, fishermen stay connected, navigate safely, and ensure greater security at sea. Tide Volt, maritime safety and sustainability through innovation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Paradip. I'm founder of Auditorium. We are building India's first GPS tracking life jackets to track and trace the people who have fell down in the water. It acts like a shield to track and trace the people who have fell down in the water and helps in minimizing of the rescue operations within the deep sea and maritime accidents. Thank you.
When you are struggling to do something, what if someone is there to help you more effortlessly? Not only in your daily life, but also in your professional life, you may face many struggles. The chaotic world of container port operation. The chaos begins right at the terminal gate itself. The delays and congestion due to manual container identification and tracking. The result? Increased carbon emissions. For one truck, this might be manageable. But what if it's not just one, not 10, but thousands of trucks? An interrupted supply chain. But what if someone is there to help you more effortlessly? Docker Vision, your most trusted partner. A port equipped with advanced cameras at entry and exit points, seamlessly identifying containers in real time, ensuring smooth operations. No more delays, no more uncertainty. Eliminating manual checks through Docker Solution, the AI-powered OCR, which automatically captures and feeds container details into the system, facilitating flawless port operations. Automated navigation integrated into trucks eradicates chaos within the port, making confusions and delays a thing of the past. At container ports, smart cameras accurately capture all relevant container information, thereby efficiently eliminating congestion. During container stacking, crucial containers often end up buried deep, causing unnecessary moves. But smart stacking and strategic arrangement ensures these vital containers remain accessible. Comprehensive safety measures and warning notifications for unsafe movements make accidents rare occurrences. Automation streamlines workflow, speeding up claim resolution with recorded and accessible proofs, guaranteeing trust and reliability. No matter if it's a truck, a ship, or a train, we have got you covered. Now, you might be wondering, who can effortlessly handle all of this for you? Your most trusted partner, Docker Vision.
विजिंजम पोर्ट का निरीक्षण किया। ये तस्वीरें केरल के तिरुवनंतपुरम से। जहां प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को ये जानकारी देते हुए अधिकारी कि किस तरीके से इस पोर्ट का संचालन होगा। और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने जनसभा को भी संबोधित किया, जहां प्रधानमंत्री ने कई बड़ी बातों का जिक्र किया। उन्होंने कहा कि अब जो देश का पैसा देश में खर्च होगा, क्योंकि बंदरगाहों पर जो ट्रांसशिपमेंट होती थी वो देश के बाहर की जाती थी, लेकिन इस पोर्ट के बनने से जो ट्रांसशिपमेंट है वो यही होगी। इसके साथ साथ रोजगार के अवसर बढ़ेंगे। और पिछले 10 सालों में भारत का मैरीटाइम सेक्टर लगातार मजबूत हुआ है और पोर्ट की क्षमता को
Every year, millions of liters of oil seep into our oceans, transforming vibrant, life-filled waters into silent graveyards. Oil spills don't just stain the surface, they suffocate fish, choke coral reefs, and poison the very foundation of marine life. Entire ecosystems collapse under the weight of this invisible enemy. Traditional cleanup methods? They're slow, costly, and too often, they leave behind toxic residues, creating more problems than they solve. But now there's a smarter, greener solution, new N-Bio product. This biological innovation is designed to displace oil from water surfaces and naturally break it down over time. Our unique eco-safe formula doesn't fight against nature, it works with it. By accelerating the natural biodegradation process, N-Bio product restores balance, leaving behind no harmful chemicals, only cleaner waters and healthier ecosystems. Imagine coastlines free of oil stains, oceans where marine life can thrive again, and communities that no longer live in fear of the next disaster. This isn't just technology. This is hope. This is sustainability in action. Together we can turn the tide against pollution. Together we can safeguard our oceans for generations to come. Choose innovation. Choose sustainability. Choose MENN bioproduct, restoring nature one drop at a time.
Welcome to Ports 4.1, where advanced 5G and automation technologies are reshaping logistics. You're about to witness a streamlined, efficient process powered by National Technology Center for Ports, Waterways and Coasts. Our journey begins as the container truck approaches the port gate, where automated systems scan it. Next, the truck proceeds to the RTG, where containers are lifted with precision. Thanks to Ports 4.1 technology, each RTG crane can operate independently yet stay in sync with the rest of the port. Guided by real-time routing, the port truck navigates to the key crane area. With 5G connectivity, each vehicle takes the most efficient route, avoiding delays and maximizing productivity. The container reaches the key crane and is swiftly loaded onto the ship. Ports 4.1 tech optimizes every move, reducing downtime and accelerating throughput to meet global trade demands. Every stage, from entry to export, showcases Port's 4.1 productivity with 5G and automation. It maximizes efficiency, throughput, and reliability, ensuring goods move swiftly to their next destination. Thank you for your patience in experiencing Port 4.1 with Team NTCPWC.
Good morning. Welcome to Paradip Port. General status of port weather. The current temperature is 36.5 degrees Celsius. There are no wind gusts at the moment. Rain intensity is moderate at 1.99 millimeters per hour. Light rain showers are expected intermittently throughout the afternoon, but no significant disruptions to port operations are anticipated. Vessel activity within the Paradip port limits. Port traffic is as busy as usual with 65 seagoing vessels. Expecting 10 arrivals and 5 departures of vessels today. Safety and monitoring systems. Collision alarm active. Monitoring in progress. Channel alert. Attention. Vessels are currently navigating within their designated channels. Port traffic control is in direct communication with the bridge teams to guide corrective action and ensure a safe return to navigational compliance.
Pilot, port control, traffic information as per our ATs, inbound vessel, maintaining center of channel.
The bridge team is continuously monitoring the ships under keel clearance to prevent potential vessel grounding and ensure navigational safety. Environmental monitoring update. Buoy 9 initiated an environmental alert at 8:10 a.m. Oil spill has been detected. Investigation. It is reported oil tanker sinking might have caused the spill. Further investigation initiated. Elevated sound pollution levels have been recorded near the cargo berth 17. Noise levels have exceeded safe operational thresholds due to heavy machinery and piling activity. Air pollution alert triggered at the Eastern Storage Zone at 10:00 a.m. Investigation. High concentrations of airborne particulate matter have been detected, originating from the coal dump site. I am Marina, your digital assistant.
India's engines are revving and we're sailing full steam ahead, inspired by the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Startup India and Make in India are driving bold solutions that are shaping tomorrow. India today is charting an ambitious course, aiming to be a global shipbuilding hub, expanding and modernizing its ports, boosting exports, and strengthening its position as the world's trade and manufacturing powerhouse. With rising cargo volumes and growing maritime capabilities, the opportunities are vast, and the time is now. Under the leadership of Honorable Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal, and Honorable Minister of State, Shri Shantanu Thakur, the Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative, S2I2, is calling innovators to MAR-a-Thon. If you can build solutions aligned with Maritime India Vision 2030 and Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047, this is the right place for you. If you can design smart ships, automate ports, cut carbon on shipping routes, or reimagine supply chains, this is the right place for you. And if you can bring your idea to life, India is ready to back you with up to 1 crore rupees in funding, world-class mentorship, and the chance to deploy your prototype into operational waters. This is not for passengers. If you can lead, if you can break barriers, If you can steer the course, this is the right place for you. Together, let us innovate with grit, create with purpose, and sail towards a fearless, self-reliant, maritime India.
Every day, thousands of fishing boats brave the open seas, facing unpredictable waves and constant motion. What if this natural motion could be turned into a reliable source of power? Tide Volt captures kinetic energy and transforms it into electricity, charging onboard batteries that power essential systems. With continuous power, fishermen stay connected, navigate safely, and ensure greater security at sea. Tide Volt, maritime safety and sustainability through innovation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, T.T.J, I'm founder of Auditorium. We are building India's first GPS tracking life jackets to track and trace the people who have fell down in the water. It acts like a shield to track and trace the people who have fell down in the water and helps in minimizing of the rescue operations within the deep sea and maritime accidents. Thank you.
When you are struggling to do something, what if someone is there to help you more effortlessly? Not only in your daily life, but also in your professional life, you may face many struggles. The chaotic world of container port operation. The chaos begins right at the terminal gate itself. The delays and congestion due to manual container identification and tracking. The result? Increased carbon emissions. For one truck, this might be manageable. But what if it's not just one, not 10, but thousands of trucks? An interrupted supply chain. But what if someone is there to help you more effortlessly? Docker Vision, your most trusted partner. A port equipped with advanced cameras at entry and exit points, seamlessly identifying containers in real time, ensuring smooth operations. No more delays, no more uncertainty. Eliminating manual checks through Docker Solution, the AI-powered OCR, which automatically captures and feeds container details into the system, facilitating flawless port operations. Automated navigation integrated into trucks eradicates chaos within the port, making confusions and delays a thing of the past. At container ports, smart cameras accurately capture all relevant container information, thereby efficiently eliminating congestion. During container stacking, crucial containers often end up buried deep, causing unnecessary moves. But smart stacking and strategic arrangement ensures these vital containers remain accessible. Comprehensive safety measures and warning notifications for unsafe movements make accidents rare occurrences. Automation streamlines workflow, speeding up claim resolution with recorded and accessible proofs, guaranteeing trust and reliability. No matter if it's a truck, a ship, or a train, we have got you covered. Now, you might be wondering, who can effortlessly handle all of this for you? Your most trusted partner, DockerVision.
विजिंजम पोर्ट का निरीक्षण किया। ये तस्वीरें केरल के तिरुवनंतपुरम से। जहां प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को ये जानकारी देते हुए अधिकारी कि किस तरीके से इस पोर्ट का संचालन होगा। और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने जनसभा को भी संबोधित किया, जहां प्रधानमंत्री ने कई बड़ी बातों का जिक्र किया। उन्होंने कहा कि अब जो देश का पैसा देश में खर्च होगा, क्योंकि बंदरगाहों पर जो ट्रांसशिपमेंट होती थी वो देश के बाहर की जाती थी, लेकिन इस पोर्ट के बनने से जो ट्रांसशिपमेंट है वो यही होगी। इसके साथ साथ रोजगार के अवसर बढ़ेंगे। और पिछले 10 सालों में भारत का मैरीटाइम सेक्टर लगातार मजबूत हुआ है और पोर्ट की क्षमता को
Every year, millions of liters of oil seep into our oceans, transforming vibrant, life-filled waters into silent graveyards. Oil spills don't just stain the surface, they suffocate fish, choke coral reefs, and poison the very foundation of marine life. Entire ecosystems collapse under the weight of this invisible enemy. Traditional cleanup methods? They're slow, costly, and too often, they leave behind toxic residues, creating more problems than they solve. But now there's a smarter green...
Check. Good evening, everyone. We are running by a short delay for the program. We'll be beginning in another 10 to 15 minutes. We are expecting the arrival of the guest. I request you all to please settle down and switch your mobile phones to silent mode to enable the smooth functioning of the event. I also request you to inform your colleagues or friends who's waiting in the lobby to please be seated so that we are all remain seated as the dignitaries arrive. Thank you.
Inspired by the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Startup India and Make in India are driving bold solutions that are shaping tomorrow. India today is charting an ambitious course, aiming to be a global shipbuilding hub, expanding and modernizing its ports, boosting exports, and strengthening its position as the world's trade and manufacturing powerhouse. With rising cargo volumes and growing maritime capabilities, the opportunities are vast, and the time is now. Under the leadership of Honorable Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal, and Honorable Minister of State, Shri Shantanu Thakur, the Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative, S2I2, is calling innovators to MAR-a-Thon. If you can build solutions aligned with Maritime India Vision 2030 and Maritime Amrit Kal, Vision 2047, this is the right place for you. If you can design smart ships, automate ports, cut carbon on shipping routes, or reimagine supply chains, this is the right place for you. And if you can bring your idea to life, India is ready to back you with up to 1 crore rupees in funding, world-class mentorship, and the chance to deploy your prototype into operational waters. This is not for passengers. If you can lead, if you can break barriers, if you can steer the course, this is the right place for you. Together, let us innovate with grit, create with purpose, and sail towards a fearless, self-reliant, maritime India.
jump. Switch on.
क्योंकि क्यों गए भेजा है मैराथन ऑनलाइन चालू किए सेमिनार मोटी लिंक हमारा ईमेल जो है जो चालू से जो
India's engines are revving and we're sailing full steam ahead, inspired by the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Startup India and Make in India are driving bold solutions that are shaping tomorrow. India today is charting an ambitious course, aiming to be a global shipbuilding hub, expanding and modernizing its ports, boosting exports, and strengthening its position as the world's trade and manufacturing powerhouse. With rising cargo volumes and growing maritime capabilities, the opportunities are vast, and the time is now. Under the leadership of Honorable Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal, and Honorable Minister of State, Shri Shantanu Thakur, the Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative, S2I2, is calling innovators to MAR-a-Thon if you can build solutions aligned with Maritime India Vision 2030 and Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047, this is the right place for you. If you can design smart ships, automate ports, cut carbon on shipping routes, or reimagine supply chains, this is the right place for you. And if you can bring your idea to life, India is ready to back you with up to 1 crore rupees in funding, world-class mentorship, and the chance to deploy your prototype into operational waters. This is not for passengers. If you can lead, if you can break barriers, if you can steer the course, this is the right place for you. Together, let us innovate with grit, create with purpose, and sail towards a fearless, self-reliant, maritime India.
Every day, thousands of fishing boats brave the open seas, facing unpredictable waves and constant motion. What if this natural motion could be turned into a reliable source of power? Tide Volt captures kinetic energy and transforms it into electricity, charging onboard batteries that power essential systems. With continuous power, fishermen stay connected, navigate safely, and ensure greater security at sea. Tide Vault, maritime safety and sustainability through innovation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, T.T.J. I'm founder of Auditorium. We are building India's first GPS tracking life jackets to track and trace the people who have
Welcome to Ports 4.1, where advanced 5G and automation technologies are reshaping logistics. You're about to witness a streamlined, efficient process powered by National Technology Center for Ports, Waterways and Coasts. Our journey begins as the container truck approaches the port gate, where automated systems scan it. Next, the truck proceeds to the RTG, where containers are lifted with precision. Thanks to Ports 4.1 technology, each RTG crane can operate independently yet stay in sync with the rest of the port. Guided by real-time routing, the port truck navigates to the key crane area. With 5G connectivity, each vehicle takes the most efficient route, avoiding delays and maximizing productivity. The container reaches the key crane and is swiftly loaded onto the ship. Ports 4.1 tech optimizes every move, reducing downtime and accelerating throughput to meet global trade demands. Every stage, from entry to export, showcases Ports 4.1 productivity with 5G and automation. It maximizes efficiency, throughput, and reliability, ensuring goods move swiftly to their next destination. Thank you for your patience in experiencing Port 4.1 with Team NTCPWC.
Good morning. Welcome to Paradip Port. General status of port weather. The current temperature is 36.5 degrees Celsius. There are no wind gusts at the moment. Rain intensity is moderate at 1.99 millimeters per hour. Light rain showers are expected intermittently throughout the afternoon, but no significant disruptions to port operations are anticipated. Vessel activity within the Paradip port limits. Port traffic is as busy as usual with 65 seagoing vessels. Expecting 10 arrivals and 5 departures of vessels today. Safety and monitoring systems. Collision alarm active. Monitoring in progress. Channel alert. Attention. Vessels are currently navigating within their designated channels. Port traffic control is in direct communication with the bridge teams to guide corrective action and ensure a safe return to navigational compliance.
Pilot, port control, traffic information as per our readings, inbound vessel maintaining center of channel.
The bridge team is continuously monitoring the ships under keel clearance to prevent potential vessel grounding and ensure navigational safety. Environmental monitoring update. Buoy 9 initiated an environmental alert at 8:10 a.m. Oil spill has been detected. Investigation. It is reported oil tanker sinking might have caused the spill. Further investigation initiated. Elevated sound pollution levels have been recorded near the cargo berth 17. Noise levels have exceeded safe operational thresholds due to heavy machinery and piling activity. Air pollution alert triggered at the Eastern Storage Zone at 10:00 a.m. Investigation. High concentrations of airborne particulate matter have been detected, originating from the coal dump site. I am Marina, your digital assistant.
Let us give a warm round of applause as our dignitaries enter the auditorium. Good evening, distinguished guests, delegates, and participants. Before we commence today's program, I would like to reiterate on a few important announcements. Please switch off your mobile phones or set them to silent mode. Our volunteers are here to assist you. Please feel free to approach them or visit our help desk at the registration counter. Exhibition stalls by various startups are being put up outside the auditorium. Please visit them after the event. It's now my honor to invite our distinguished guest onto the stage. I request Professor K. Murali to lead the dignitaries onto the stage. May I invite our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, onto the stage. Shri R. Lakshmanan IAS, Joint Secretary, Ports, PPP, CS, Sagarmala 1 and IT, MoPS&W. Shri S. Vishwanathan IAS, Deputy Chairperson, CHPA and Managing Director, National Maritime Complex. Shri Susant Kumar Purohit, Chairperson, VOC Port Authority, and Professor Shanti Pavan, Director in Charge, IIT Madras. Let us all welcome them with a huge round of applause. Good evening to one and all present here. It's my immense pleasure to welcome this distinguished gathering of maritime professionals, researchers, innovators, and entrepreneurs to MAR-a-Thon 2025, India's Maritime Hackathon, a unique convergence focused on research, innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship in the maritime sector. This landmark event is jointly organized by the National Technology Center for Ports, Waterways, and Coast, IIT Madras, the National Maritime Complex, Chennai Port Authority, and the Ministry of Ports, Shipping, and Waterways. We'll now begin this event. I request you all to rise for Tamil Thai Varthu, followed by Vande Mataram. கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே 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 வந்தே மாதரம் वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् सुप्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी हुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदल शोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुर भाषिनी सुखतां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्. We now proceed with the auspicious lighting of the lamp. I request the dignitaries to light the Kuttuvilakku. We are pleased to have Shri S. Vishwanathan, Deputy Chairperson, CHPA, and Managing Director, National Maritime Complex. He is a 2008 batch IAS officer and has served in key roles, including Mission Director of the National Health Mission, Commissioner of Guwahati Municipal Corporation, and Managing Director of the Tourism Department and CEO of Ayushman Bharat. I request Shri S. Vishwanathan, Managing Director, National Maritime Complex, to deliver the welcome address.
அனைவருக்கும் அன்பார்ந்த மாலை வணக்கங்கள். Good evening to all of you. It truly gives me great joy to welcome you all to this special moment, the launch of India's first ever Maritime Hackathon, MAR-a-Thon. First, I would like to welcome our Honorable Secretary to the Government of India, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Sri T.K. Ramachandran sir. It was his vision that first planted the idea of bringing startups to the maritime sector at a national level. I also warmly welcome Joint Secretary Ports, Sri Lakshmanan, VOC Port Authority Chairman Sri Sushanta Kumar Purohit, our beloved Director in charge, and also the faculty members of IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, IMU Chennai, who worked so hard to build the framework to bring the startups into this space. I also warmly welcome the senior officials. We have many port chairmen and deputy chairmen present here. Senior officials of major ports who will be the front line of this effort, testing, piloting, scaling new solutions on the ground, from the quayside to the yards and gates. Your leadership will ensure that innovation does not remain in theory, but becomes part of daily practice. I take this opportunity to welcome our allied organization, representatives from Dredging Corporation of India, Shipping Corporation of India, Director General of Lighthouses and Lightships, IPRCL, and many others. You are the critical enablers that our maritime ecosystem and your openness to innovation will make you true partners in this journey. And finally, a very special welcome to all the startups, industry leaders, and students who are here with us today. You are the energy, the creativity, and the fresh perspective that will make this event meaningful. Friends, India has always been a maritime nation. Our ports connect us to the world, but they also face real-life challenges. For example, Chennai port, we have congestion at ports. In other ports, there is delay in cargo movement and obviously the risks of climate change. That is why today this event is so important. MAR-a-Thon is not just a hackathon, it's a call for solutions, fresh thinking, and bold ideas. I would like to quote Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. We must be second to none in the application of advanced technologies to the real problems of man and society. And a couple of days ago, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, during the National Space Day, he said, "Beyond galaxies lies our horizon." He gave the target of creating 5 unicorns in the space sector within the next 5 years. The thought of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister can be applied to maritime sector. We are inviting bright minds to take science and technology, innovation into the real challenges of our ports and coastlines. MAR-a-Thon stands for three things: a platform for new voices to solve old problems, a bridge between government, industry, and startups, and a commitment that India's maritime sector will not only support trade but also lead global maritime innovation. Friends, as you are all aware, India has a coastline of 11,098 kilometers with 12 major ports and more than 200 non-major ports. We are handling about 95% of our trade by volume and 68% by value. The scale underscores the critical role of our maritime sector in driving our economy. Yet, behind these numbers lie a deeper reality. The maritime ecosystem, from dredging and shipbuilding to navigation and port connectivity, continues to face gaps in technology, efficiency, and self-reliance. Much of our critical dredging equipment, advanced navigation system, and even components for fleet modernization are still imported, leaving us dependent on foreign vendors. So there is a lot of dollar outflow from the country. Our agencies and ports work tirelessly to keep trade flowing, but they grapple with aging assets and limited access to cutting-edge technologies. Clearly, if India is to secure a place as a global maritime leader, we need solutions that are smarter, cleaner, and more self-reliant. This means building indigenous capability, embracing digitalization, and accelerating the adoption of green and intelligent systems. I would like to mention Maritime India Vision 2030 and Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047. These are the war cry of our Honorable Prime Minister, and they lay out the path ahead for the maritime sector. I request all the startups and innovators present here to kindly go through these two documents, which would give a perspective into the maritime sector's vision into the year 2030, as well as our Amritkal vision on 2047. Today, our ports are handling around 2,500 million tons per annum. By 2047, this will expand to fourfold to around 10,000 million tons per annum capacity, with at least 5 ports transformed into fully smart ports, powered by digital twins, automation, and AI, ensuring just-in-time arrivals, seamless cargo flows, and world-class efficiency. But this is not just about adding capacity. It is about transformation of India's maritime sector. From ports and shipping to dredging, shipbuilding, and connectivity, every part of this ecosystem is being reshaped into an intelligent, integrated, and sustainable network. Imagine this transformation: ships safely docking on time without delay, goods moving seamlessly from port to rail to road, green fuels powering vessels, and digital systems tracking every container in real time. The maritime sector of the future will not just handle more cargo. It will handle smarter, faster, and cleaner. And this transformation, my friends, will directly power India's ambition in becoming a $5 trillion economy. At the heart of this transformation is our startups. They bring agility, adaptability, and focused innovation. But unlike pure software ventures, maritime softwares or maritime startups are largely hardware driven. Drones, robotics, green fuel systems like green hydrogen, and IoT infrastructure. These innovations require longer support cycle and greater financial backing before they can scale. So that is why we are providing an ecosystem where the Sagarmala will provide the physical test beds. The National Logistics Policy, NLP, and ULIP, Unified Logistics Interface Platform, will provide the digital rails, APIs, and interoperable platforms. PM Gati Shakti will ensure multimodal integration, connecting ports seamlessly to highways, railways, and freight corridors. On this backbone, startups will deploy remotely operated unmanned vehicles for underwater operations, artificial intelligence for berth planning, container tracking, creating end-to-end visibility, blockchain documentation, transforming every node of the supply chain. So India is already the world's third largest startup ecosystem with over 1.8 lakh ventures and more than 110 unicorns. Reforms under Startup India, the 10,000 crore fund of funds and the seed fund scheme have unlocked unprecedented energy. Now, this energy must be channeled into the oceans and ports, into the maritime sector. So, how can startups with no prior port experience solve our toughest challenge? How can IITs and IIMs, IMU, bring cutting-edge research closer to deployment? And how can ports open their gates not only to cargo, but also to new ideas? The answer is S2I2. Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative, India's first dedicated platform to fund and accelerate maritime startups. It supports ventures from proof of concept to seed funding and pilot deployment. Ports will serve as anchor customers and test beds, while IITs, IMU provide mentorship and technical guidance. This marks a decisive shift. Ports as platforms for innovation. In this context, National Maritime Complex, I would like to mention here that the name will be changing shortly. It will be changing to Maritime India Foundation. So this has been conceived as a registered society under the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways. Its role will be pivotal in connecting startups, ports, academia, and industry leaders. So our responsibilities will include challenge mapping, number 2, collaborative linkages, innovation and technology, knowledge and capacity building, policy support among all of you. Startups will be mentored through 4 maritime innovation hubs, namely IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and IMU Chennai. In this regard, for proof of concept, funding of up to 10 lakhs will be provided. For minimum viable product, a funding of up to 60 lakhs will be provided. And for commercialization and scale up, a funding of up to rupees 1 crore will be provided. Successful pilots will then be deployed across multiple ports of India. Hence, Maritime India Foundation will tie together the ecosystem, ensuring that bold ideas are nurtured, tested in real-world port environments, and deployed at scale. Friends, when UPI was launched, it was just digital trails. But once fintech startups built on it, India became a global payments leader. In the same way, Sagarmala, NLP ULIP, Gati Shakti, and S2I2, we are building the rails for maritime innovation. Our startups, with stronger financial support and longer runway, will build the trains. And together, I am confident that we will steer India towards a global maritime industry leader. With these words, I welcome all of you, and I hope that this session you will be enriched a lot. Thank you, Nandri.
Thank you, sir. We take this opportunity to felicitate our dignitaries with a memento and Angavastram. I request Shri S. Vishwanathan, sir, to do the honors. We would like to present a memento to our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran IAS, with a memento and an Angavastram as a token of gratitude for gracing the occasion. I request Shri S. Vishwanathan to present a memento to Shri R. Lakshmanan, Joint Secretary Ports, MoPS&W. We would like to present a memento, Sri Susanta Kumar Purohit, Chairperson VOC. We would like to present a memento to Director in Charge, Professor Shanti Pavan. And now, sir, I request Professor Shanti Pavan to present a memento to Shri S. Vishwanathan. Thank you, sirs. We are honored to welcome Shri R. Lakshmanan, Joint Secretary, MoPS&W. With over 2 decades of administrative experience, he has played a key role in advancing India's maritime sector, including ports, shipbuilding, and green and digital initiatives. He spearheaded many electrification and power reforms, achieving 100% village and household electrification. It's an indeed an honor to have you amongst us here, sir. I now invite Shri R. Lakshmanan, Joint Secretary, MoPS&W, to address the gathering.
Thank you. Respected Secretary to Government of India, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Shri T.K. Ramachandran, Director in Charge, IIT Chennai, Chairman, Tuticorin Port, Vishwanathan, Deputy Chairman, Chennai Port, and MD of the National Maritime Complex, Professor Murali, and other colleagues from the Ministry and IIT Chennai, IIT Mumbai, IIT Kharagpur, IMU, and all the students and innovators who have gathered here. It's indeed a day that within the ministry we have been, waiting for. Especially like this is an idea which has been conceived and pushed, because like within the maritime sector, research and development and startups, this is an area where not much of focus has been paid. So it was under the vision and guidance of Secretary Sir that we have been like working towards this initiative. And maybe few years back, Ministry did start a series of initiatives in terms of setting up different centers of excellence. For example, with IIT Chennai, so we had set up the NTCPWC as a center of excellence for especially ports and ocean engineering. And we are happy to note that in the last, I think, 7-8 years, that center has really become a thriving, ecosystem. I'll just quote one example where vessel traffic management system. So any vessel comes to a port, there is a traffic management system. So all the Indian ports, we were using the software for vessel traffic management, which was the licensed product of a Norwegian company. All the ports were using that, and it used to cost a lot of money. And with Tuticorin port taking the initiative, and they gave the project to NTCPWC to develop that software. And IIT Chennai, the NTCPWC center, could successfully develop that software, and it was deployed, I think, 4 or 5 years back as a pilot software in Tuticorin port, and it proved to be successful. And then subsequently, Paradip port, then Kamaraj port, they adopted the software. And as we speak today, out of the 12 major ports, 9 major ports are using the same software. And rest of the 3 ports will migrate to this software very shortly. And not only these ports, now private ports have also started using this software. Very recently, Honorable PM inaugurated Vizhinjam port. And the Vizhinjam port also uses the VTMS developed by NTCPWC. So this is a very good example of how indigenous research and development of a particular solution can prove to be very cost effective and also reduce our dependency on foreign companies and the amount of money that we incur supporting the. Similarly, there are a series of such initiatives that is happening. Another example that I would like to quote is Cochin Shipyard, which started the startup program, Ushush, which again in partnership with IIT Chennai and IM Kozhikode. So they have taken this initiative 2 years back. And we are happy to note that they have completed 2 rounds of selection of companies, and some have been selected for seed funding, and those startups are doing pretty well in terms of addressing the shipbuilding industry related challenges. And based on these learnings and what has happened in defense, IDEX is a very successful initiative of Government of India. And studying all of this, we have come up with the Maritime Hackathon and the Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative, which focuses on creating a structured platform for promoting research, innovation, and startups. And this would be very critical if we have to achieve the overall Maritime Amritkal vision. So just to briefly mention about the vision, India as a country, we aspire to be a 30 or a $32 trillion economy, say in next 25 years. That's the vision that Honorable Prime Minister has articulated. That essentially would mean a $10 trillion worth of EXIM trade. Today we are at around $1.1 trillion of EXIM trade. So that essentially would mean, today we are handling around 1,200 million metric tons of cargo, and probably we'll need to handle around 7,000 million metric tons of cargo by 2047. So that would mean increasing our port capacity by 4 times. Our ports have to be much more efficient. They have to be sustainable. And same is the case if you look at the vision for shipping and shipbuilding and inland waterways and coastal shipping. So all of this has a very, very robust and aggressive growth that has been planned for. So all of this would be possible only if we are able to invest adequate amount of time and effort and money in research, development, and innovation. Because business as usual will definitely not lead us to this vision. So that is where the importance of what we are starting today comes in. And today we are launching the competition with I think 6 innovation clusters around ports, shipping, shipbuilding, and around 41 challenges which have come from different companies within the sector. So which would be thrown open to startups to participate, and then we go through a process of evaluation, and then the process of proof of concept, then tech or commercial pilot, and then scale up, etc. In this process, I think one of the most important things would be co-creating the solution. Like in many cases, what we have seen is like ports or the shipbuilding companies, they state the problem. This is my problem and this is the challenge. And startups work on that and come back with a solution. In this process, a very close involvement of both of them. Like essentially it has to be a co-creation. The solution has to be ports and shipbuilding companies have to participate and engage with the startups and work on evolving the solution so that the solution is actually useful. Otherwise, like we've seen many solutions are created, but they hardly scale up because that's not co-created. There is a gap between what the solution is created for and ultimately it doesn't address the challenge in a realistic way. So many times this gap remains. So in this process, we are very conscious of this and we would like to stress upon this that the industry and the startup ecosystem have to work very closely so that we are able to co-create the solutions which can ultimately scale up and become industry-wide solutions. So that is the primary intent with which we are starting the initiative today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. We have with us here today Sri Sushanta Kumar Purohit, Chairperson VOC Port Authority. He has experience in working in various posts in Government of India. His expertise includes infrastructure projects, monitoring key parameters for improvement of performance. I request Sri Sushanta Kumar Purohit to address the gathering.
Most respected Secretary to Government of India, Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways, Sri T.K. Ramchandran sir, Esteemed Director, IIT Madras, Joint Secretary, Ports, Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways, Deputy Chairman, Chennai Port and Managing Director, NMC, esteemed faculties from the IIT Chennai, IIT Mumbai, IIT Kharagpur and IMU, my colleagues from the various ports, distinguished officers from Government of Tamil Nadu, and dear students. In fact, this marathon that we are having, this function we are having, we are very thankful to our Secretary sirs for the direction and also to IIT Madras for organizing jointly with the Ministry of Ports and Shipping and Waterways and also our National Maritime Complex. And this academia and industry correlation is very much important for solving problem. Sometimes it so happens that research is not oriented towards this industry's requirement. So this kind of efforts definitely will help in quickly solving the problems and issues that affects the industry. In VOCPA, as you know, this is the second largest major ports in the state of Tamil Nadu, and we have been doing a lot of work on cargo side, on the green side, as well as on IT and artificial intelligence and how you can improve the efficiency of various activities that we are handling. BOCPA, which is known as BO Chidambarnath Port Authority, this is located in Tuticorin, and this is located in such a way, such a place that it has got many strategic locational advantages. As you know that it is an all-weather port, and we work 24/7, 365 days. We are not affected by any cyclone or where other ports, they used to get affected by cyclone. Secondly, we are located on a rocky base, so that once we do the dredging, then the regular dredging is not required. So that we reduce a lot of operational expenditure. As a result of that, we are the port which is having the minimum operational expenditure, that we are the port having a least operating ratio. That means the operating ratio is only 29%. That is spent around 29 rupees to 100 rupees. And the connectivity point of view, with the port is very well connected to the hinterland. We usually handle very big over-dimension consignment long windmill blades. And so those windmill blades used to come from Chennai and Bangalore, all the way from there. So that proves that the port is very much well connected into the hinterland. Also, you might have heard that our Honorable Prime Minister was there last month, and the airport was inaugurated, and it has come up in a big way. And now this seaport, the Tuticorin, is now being served by two major ports, and it is only a port which is supported by two, international airports. And we are also doing a lot of capacity enhancement work. In the last 1 year, we have done so much of work. We have commissioned many berths. We have commissioned the green hydrogen plant. The first port we have produced green hydrogen from any of the ports. And we are also have to work with speed and scale. So for that purpose also, we have the secretaries having a lot of challenges, and which can be addressed through this effort, the startup efforts. Similarly, we are doing a lot of work on green side. So we are producing a lot of renewable power. We are producing about 8 megawatts of renewable power in the port, 6 megawatt of solar and 2 megawatt of wind. And that we are adding up another 6 megawatt of wind capacity we are adding. So we are trying to offset the carbon emission that is happening in the port. Also, we are going to have a pilot plant for green methanol production. So we will be producing green methanol from the solid waste. So that kind of pilot also we are doing. And also, Government of India, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, they have entrusted with us a task of creating a green methanol bunkering system. So we will be doing also that. We are going to set up a green methanol bunkering facility of 750 meter cube, and that will also get commissioned in the December. So I will be requesting all the students from the IIT Chennai to take the opportunity to visit the port. And we have a lot of challenges that we can certainly give you. And through this system of this, we can try to solve issues and improve efficiency, how we can cut cost, how we can reduce the time of execution of work, and how we can overall increase the efficiency. That definitely we can achieve through this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Shanti Pavan, Director in Charge, IIT Madras, to welcome the gathering, following which we will have a very special video message from the Director, IIT Madras.
Good evening, everybody, and again, welcome to IIT Madras. It's my very pleasant duty to welcome Sri Ramachandran, Secretary. And coincidentally, the Joint Secretary is called Lakshmanan. So, welcome, sir. And Sri Sushanta Kumar Purohit and Sri Vishwanathan. Warm welcome to all of you. It's Professor Kamakoti, the Director. I'm filling in for him today. Unfortunately, he had to travel to Delhi and couldn't be part of this very momentous occasion. I was thrilled to hear about all the wonderful things that our country has been doing towards indigenization. We are very proud, of course, of our port center and all the work they've done. Professor Kamakoti has been kind enough to record a video message. I request you to please play it. Thank you very much.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I am Kamakoti, Director, IIT Madras. I am extremely pleased that the Government of India, Ministry, and IIT Madras and multiple other institutions together are engaging themselves in this most important activity of innovation in maritime. Friends, in the multi-trillion-dollar economy that we are envisaging in Viksit Bharat 2047, maritime is going to play a very important role. We enjoy very, very long seashores, both in the eastern part and the western part. We have several ports, and we have great opportunities in terms of both business and also very important aspects of national security. We can play an extremely crucial role in transportation through sea, and for that we need lot more of innovative solutions. The effort taken by the Government of India and all the institutions together in creating this Maritime Innovation Hub is going to play a very, very important role in nurturing young innovators to come out with ideas, give them the confidence that they can explore these ideas, and then finally take them to a startup and then grow them into a unicorn. I'm sure lot of innovations will flow through this, and we will see exciting solutions that is not only for India, but globally, that's going to come out of this very important activity. Across the IITs and the other education institutions who are going to be part of this, we have several faculty who have not only established themselves academically, but have also done large consultancy and research-based industry projects, specifically for the ports and in the area of maritime management, etc. I think their vast experience is going to be really a contributing factor to this whole innovation and entrepreneurship activity. From IIT Madras, I take this opportunity to congratulate all the institutional heads and all the partners who are joining this venture, and wholeheartedly thank our ministry, specifically Sri TKR, for all the support he has extended and all the perseverance he has shown in seeing that this project actually takes off. We are very grateful to you, sir. And I wish this particular venture all success that will make our great Bharat very, very proud. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Shantipavan and Professor Kamakoti, for supporting in all our initiatives. We will now have a sneak peek of the upcoming hackathon initiative through a short video.
The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has launched the Sagarmala Startup and Innovation Initiative S2I2. India's maritime sector is embarking on a new wave of transformation, guided by the Honorable Prime Minister's vision for a Viksit Bharat and the Maritime Amrit Kal Vision 2047.
अमृत काल के 25 वर्षों में भारत को अब बड़े कैनवास पर काम करना ही होगा.
With the National Maritime Complex (NMC) as the designated agency, S2I2 aims to accelerate maritime startups by leveraging market connects, developing go-to-market strategies, and serving as a platform for the creation of potential maritime innovation hubs (MIHs) across the country. In this journey, 4 regional MIHs play a pivotal role: IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and IMU, together fostering a strong nationwide innovation ecosystem that connects innovators to maritime opportunities. To drive this mission forward, we are proud to announce MAR-a-Thon, a national hackathon under the S2I2 initiative. This platform invites innovators, technologists, entrepreneurs, and students to showcase breakthrough solutions for the maritime sector. If you can create smart ships, build autonomous vessels, develop green shipping solutions, or redesign supply chains for efficiency, this is where your ideas can thrive. MAR-a-Thon challenges you to apply cutting-edge technologies to transform the maritime landscape across critical domains. Port infrastructure, smart and integrated port operations, integrated logistics and multimodal connectivity, green and sustainable maritime sector, advanced safety, security and regulatory compliance, shipbuilding and life cycle management. Through MAR-a-Thon, you will unlock funding support up to 1 crore, gain national recognition for your ideas, receive expert mentorship, get pilot opportunities with key stakeholders, build direct connects with Indian ports and maritime industry leaders. By turning ideas into actionable solutions, MAR-a-Thon will strengthen India's maritime capabilities while contributing to the vision of a self-reliant, globally competitive maritime sector ready for the future. Join us on the journey towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat, driving India's future in maritime innovation. The seas are transforming. India is ready to lead. Are you ready to be part of this journey? Dream it, build it, lead it.
That was the short video presentation of the MAR-a-Thon 2025. We now have a momentous occasion, the launch of the MAR-a-Thon website. I request our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran IAS, to launch the website. Following this, I request our chief guest to also launch the official MAR-a-Thon brochure. I request the dignitaries on stage to join him. It's indeed a great honor to introduce our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran IAS, Secretary of Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India. He's a 1991 batch officer of the Tamil Nadu cadre. In his current role, he leads the nation's maritime sector, spearheading initiatives under the Maritime India Vision 2030, such as establishing the Indian Maritime Center as a strategic think tank to promote sustainable growth and global engagement. One of his key achievements include driving major reforms in port digitalization, significantly improving operational efficiency, and reducing turnaround times across major ports. It's indeed a great honor to have you amongst us here today, sir. I now request our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran IAS, to address this gathering.
Director in charge, Professor Shanti Pavan, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways, Mr. Lakshman, and the Kadanayagan of this event, Mr. Vishwanathan, and Chairman, VOC Port, and the Kadanayagan number 1 actually, which is Professor Murali. So I'm giving the Kadanayagan 2 Pattam to Vishwanathan, because it is Professor Murali who has really, given us all this inspiration to do what we are doing today. But Vishwanathan has been a brilliant follower, and I should really compliment him for this excellent initiative, which brings all of you here today and which helps us now to start this journey. So there was a reference to the VTMS, which we thought was a very clumsy name. So I remember when Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy was here, we did this VC, which we launched the VTMS over a VC during COVID times. And then we were thinking, what name should we give it? And then we said Kappal Seidi. And then we did it, and I think Tuticorin initially, Tuticorin was the one that funded it. Though now I think they are not giving us the copyright and they are making money out of it. But nevertheless, that's how startups should be. You know, many of you might be billionaires and we are not going to ask you for any million of that. Don't worry about it. So it started off as Kappal Seidi, and then when it went Indian and now maybe global, I don't know. We don't know now what name to call it, because Kappal Seidi in sonna romba Tamil name irukku and we need something more. So VTMS is, I think we are back to calling it VTMS because people have to recognize what it is. And it is a glad tiding that today the Vizhinjam port is also, has also bought this software. So imagine the kind of reach that we can have if only academia, industry get together. So that is very crucial. I'm glad, therefore, to be here today at MAR-a-Thon, joining you in an event that bridges academia, startups, sports and government under one roof. I start with complimenting NTCPWC, NMC or MIF now, Maritime India Foundation, Chennai Port and other partners for organizing this thematic workshop. We call it RISE, Research, Innovation, Startups, Entrepreneurship. It's a nice word, right? RISE. So when I was coming to IIT Madras, and we were just entering and there was a lot of traffic, so IIT Madras continues to be a difficult place to enter into in more ways than one. So we took a long time, and then it, 20 kilometers per hour. Yeah. So because of it, we took a long time. So this marathon, that's why we called it marathon. It's not a 100-meter sprint. Those of you who are interested in continuing have to be doggedly at it, like a marathon. You can't escape with a 100-meter sprint. You have to be at it. So maybe that's why we chose this name. We also chose this name because we didn't have much time. So we said Maritime Hackathon, MAR-a-Thon or MAR-a-Thon. Okay, marathon. Okay. So, but I think it sounds good, right? I hope you agree. It sounds good. So as we step into this Amritkal vision, which the Joint Secretary alluded to, the Amritkal vision is, as envisioned by the Honorable Prime Minister, is a 25-year vision. So 2047, what we envisage ourselves to be. And to translate this vision into reality, we need a strategy. So I'm also part of the management department, DOMS. So strategic management, those of you from strategic management will know. Strategic management means you look at the vision, you look at the goals and objectives, then you do a strategy, then you do an action plan, then you do milestones. And then you start implementing, and then you have KPIs to determine whether or not you are achieving your milestones. And then there is a feedback loop, like your Professor Pawan will tell you, like control engineering. You'll have a feedback loop to tell you how well the system is performing. So our KPIs, let me be very clear, ladies and gentlemen and youngsters, how many of you are going to be part of our the startup ecosystem, the youngsters? How many of you? Raise your hands. Yeah, very few now, but maybe once we release the problem statements, there'll be many more. Okay, so the thing is that you will all have to be part of this journey, of this marathon journey. And the KPIs, like I was saying, the KPI, what should be the KPI for this? Number of unicorns? or number of successful, any other thing, any other word for something which is $1 million? Can you think? There's nothing. Okay, you call it something. You call it something. So any of you who becomes a whatever con, will be our KPI. Ultimately, that is, I think, the proof of the pudding. But for us, innovation is a lever which we will press so that India can reach the levels of the developed economies, and where we are able to innovate. And one problem, with our software system software industry is that we don't innovate as much as we should or we can. So products are at a premium. We don't do products. Something like Zoho, the Zoho suite, so beautiful, as good as Microsoft, maybe better. But then we don't use it. So Indian products, Indian innovation, Indian startups, Indian entrepreneurs, that is what we want to push. And we will pay for it. And I think we have been quite liberal. Someone talked about 10 lakh. So anyone can walk in and say, I have an idea, you will get 10 lakhs, right? Is that what you're saying? So I have an idea, please give me 10 lakhs. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to have an idea which runs through a mill. It has to clear a bar, and then you will get 10 lakhs. But you may not necessarily come up with something productive. Doesn't matter. We are willing to, fund some kind of innovative thoughts. At the second round, you get 60 lakhs. And then in the third round, you get 1 crore. And then we will support you. We will build it with you, provided you give us some equity. Are we asking for some equity? We may or may not. And we hope that some of you who are doing well might, part with some equity so that we give back to this fund, and then that can fund other startups. So our ecosystem will also provide, like was mentioned in the video, mentorship, VC connects, then of course access to all the shipyards, ports, shipping companies, etc., the problem creators, problem statement creators. And then deployment, we will also help you in marketing, deployment, the entire works, the entire spectrum, we will look at it. In fact, I was telling Vishwanathan that he should go and see something called T-Works, which is there in Telangana. You must go and see that. So earlier we used to have this startup hub and things like that, but now we want to actually translate whatever you come up with. We want to translate that into field reality, and that is the challenge. But we are willing to go the whole hog. We will support you entirely. And for that we have many models. The IIT Madras Research Park, again, such a beautiful creation. And IIT Madras itself is such a happening place. And we have the other IITs are also here today. I think who's there from the other IITs? From IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and of course IMU. And so all of you are, each of you is an institute with reputation, each of you has a standing, each of you has done outstanding work. And therefore we want all these institutions here because we want something in every corner of the country, at least 3 corners. And these innovations will be supported, like I said, in the manner that we have laid out. But the larger picture, the larger startup hub, it is called Maritime Innovation Hub. So there is a structure for that. You have the NMC which is funding it, which will receive grants. Then you will have this Section 8 company which is the MIH. And then you will have centers in each of these institutions. And they can do it the way they want. It will be we'll leave it to them to do it the way they want. So we want to crowdsource real world problem statements from ports and shipping, and this has been released, which contains some problems, but you can add to it. There is the world of problem statements is not a finite world, isn't it? You can have as many problems as you want. Then link them to these research institutions and the young entrepreneurs. Provide structured support through POC, seed and tech pilot grants like I mentioned. And finally, ensure deployment. And that is where the funding will come from. So we want you to ensure that they are successful. If out of 10, even if 1 or 2 are successful, we are happy. Because that is the idea. Similar work has been done in other countries like Singapore and Netherlands and Los Angeles, etc. But our approach is unique because we have the largest pool of young entrepreneurs, scientists, technologies. Among many of you are here. So our approach should be different because you have that restless spirit. You want to go out there. You want to do all kinds of challenging things. So please use this opportunity and ensure that every one of you at least reaches the 3rd stage. Beyond that, we don't know. But you must have a spirit which brings you at least to the 3rd stage. I'll also talk at this point of time about the Drishti framework which the ministry has evolved. For implementing this Amritkal vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, we have identified about 25 different verticals. And these verticals are green shipping, green ports, digital, then automation and robotics and things like that, then cruise shipping, then cargo, and then industrialization, port-led industrialization. There are a large number of clusters, even HR, financing, PPPs, cruise tourism. I mean, it's a large gamut of events of verticals that we have. So in this Drishti framework, we are looking at data-driven stuff. We are looking at review mechanisms, institutional mechanisms, information monitoring systems, all so that our implementation is fast. So data-driven, review, implementation systems for tracking, institutional systems for tracking and hastening implementation. That is what Drishti is. So I will call upon some of you to ensure, to tell us how we can hasten implementation in government. One of the key things, challenges today is we are all good policy makers. In government, in IIT, everywhere, you're good policy makers. But then when you go to the website, you'll find n number of bugs. The question is, we teach the world technology. We teach the world software. We teach the world innovation. But when it comes to implementing it in our backyards, we are not very successful. Why? So there must be some reason. So you must come up with solutions so that not only do you contribute to the world, but also contribute to India, to our rise, to our global eminence. And as you see, in the world where 85% of ships are built by Koreans, Chinese and Japanese, we build less than 1% of the world's ships. We are a technologically advanced nation, 1% of the world's ships. We own less than 1% of the world's ships. We register 1% or less than that. Why is that? China does about 60, 50%. So in and Korea, small country, few million people, they are at the top. And we don't even manufacture big ships. So what is this that in our DNA that prevents us from doing these things? Therefore, technical people, the leaders in the technological sector like those at IIT, should get into the act. Ask questions. Why can't we do an LNG ship in India? Why can't we do a green tug in India? Why can't we do a hydrogen-powered vessel in India? What is so great about cryogenics that you can't do it for our ships? You can't transport LNG. Is it something that we need to get from Korea? One of you should do a startup. Why is it that engines have to be imported only from MAN or Wärtsilä and manufactured in China or Korea? We should create, design our own engines. And therefore we are setting up several new projects, including a shipbuilding mission, a ship design center, a maritime development fund of 25,000 crores, so that some of the ideas that you come up, we can perhaps later on convert them into business propositions, fund them, take equity and all that. And then we are also building clusters, shipbuilding clusters across the country where many ideas, technological ideas can get converted into action. Therefore, I would just like to tell all of you that today's startups are tomorrow's strategic enterprises. And we hope that this Marathon 2025, the website that we launched, the booklet that we have launched, will all become starting points for a great long marathon. But that should conclude within a few years. A marathon cannot be endless, right? It should conclude. And it should show your resilience. It should show your staying power. It should show your strength. And therefore, I'm sure through this joint venture, working together, the IIT Madras, the NMC, all the ports, all the other institutions that I mentioned, I'm sure we will achieve India's rightful place as a global maritime leader by 2047. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking words. On behalf of IIT Madras, we would like to honor our chief guest. I request Professor K. Murali to present a memento to our chief guest, Shri T.K. Ramachandran, IAS.
Good afternoon once again. Shri Ramachandran is not only our beloved secretary, he is also one of the beloved students. So, on behalf of the institute, we would like to felicitate him.
I now invite Professor K. Murali to propose the vote of thanks.
So before I propose the vote of thanks, some details about the marathon I wish to give. Today we launched the website and we also have complete details on the website regarding the problem statements, the challenges, the 41 challenges across 6 verticals. All details are available. I request all of you to go through and take a look and participate. I wish to give you some key dates of the challenge. It starts 25th August, that's today. And we have the application window open till 29th September. It's a quite long window. The idea is to ensure that all the innovators and startups will be able to absorb the problem statements. They might need discussions with knowledge partners, the owners of the challenges, which are the ports and the industry. And we would create channels for them to interact with us, interact with the experts, interact with the industry or the respective ports. And therefore, sufficient time is given for this to happen. So it's more than 5 weeks that will be available for this to take place. And after that, the problem statements can be, the solution statements and the solution techniques and methodologies could be formulated. And the actual challenge is going to happen on 16th, 17th and the 18th of October. There will be, this is a 3-day program wherein we would try to understand the solutions that are being proposed, and we would like to complete the selection by that time. And the award ceremony will take place not on the 18th or 19th of October. It will take place along with the India Maritime Week at Mumbai. So those dates will be subsequently announced. Okay. So these are the date lines, and I wish we could follow those date lines. Okay. Now, coming to the vote of thanks. It has been a wonderful journey. This discussion actually started nearly more than a year ago with the support of Honorable Secretary TKR. We were able to come to this stage. There is a lot of motivation that he has provided and a lot of inspiration that he has provided. And we wish to thank him personally for all the inputs and the guidance that he has given. I also wish to thank Sri Lakshmanan, who has been who has been the mainstay in taking this through and formulating the policies, the techniques, the methodologies, and all the administrative enablers he has provided. I wish to thank Director IIT Madras, Professor Kamakoti, and my colleagues and the administration for making this happen. And I wish to thank MD, NMC, and the Deputy Chairman Chennai Port for taking this forward. And all the chairmen and deputy chairmen of the ports and the senior officials, my colleagues from the department and IIT Madras, also my colleagues from IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and IMU. I wish to convey my personal thanks to them. They traveled here with a very, very short notice over the weekend, and we were able to have them here. The startups, the innovators and students community, and especially the staff of IIT Madras, and more especially the staff of NTCPWC, who have put in several days of slogging behind the successful conduct of this launch program. And I wish to thank all of you, and Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all for joining this inaugural session. We will now move on to the technical session, which is the panel discussion. I now request moderator for the panel discussion, Professor K. Murali, to take over the stage.
Check.
So we now continue to the panel discussion. The panel will be focusing on fostering research, innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship in the maritime sector. So the panel comprises of several experts in the field, Joint Secretary, Ports, MoPS&W, then Pro Vice Chancellor, Indian Maritime University, Dr. Balaji, Deputy Chairman, Chennai Port Authority, and the MD, NMC is also part of the panel. Then Managing Director, Cochin Shipyard Limited, Sri Krishna Prasad. Yeah. I also invite my colleague from IIT Madras and founder of Planis, Prabhu Rajagopal. Okay. We'll try to get him here soon. Then we invite Professor Manas Bhattacharya, Manas Bera. Manas, are you there? Yeah. Can I have a hand?
It's there.
Girka. No, I'll be on the floor. No, I'm not going to sit there. One more chair. Yeah, sorry, I missed it. Rendu chairmen. We also invite Development Advisor, Mr. Rashwath, to be part of the panel. I think. Yeah. But yeah, there are some discussions. That's why I said it will be down there, moderate. So the discussion will focus on deliberations as to how India can leverage the Sagarmala Startup Innovation Initiative to foster a vibrant ecosystem of research, innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship rise in the maritime sector, and how ports, PSUs, academia, and the startups can collectively drive this transformation. Okay. So the structure of the panel has been originally conceived in 2 rounds, but due to paucity of time, we will probably do the first round and then go in a very informal manner after that. This session on fostering research, innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship in maritime will explore how India can accelerate its journey towards becoming a global leader in maritime innovation. We will also hear perspectives from policymakers, implementing agencies, PSUs, academia, and startups, trying to understand a 360-degree view of the entire ecosystem. Okay. I would start with Joint Secretary, Sri Lakshmanan. Sir, what are the key milestones under MIV 2030 and Maritime Amrit Kaal Vision 2047, and how do you see startups contributing to achieving these ambitions in areas like green shipping, logistics, and smart ports?
Thank you, Professor Murli. In fact, when Secretary Sir spoke and when we had spoken in the inaugural session, broadly, like we had touched upon the Maritime Amrit Kaal vision. This vision, especially like has 11 themes, out of which I think 3 or 4 are the core verticals in the maritime space. One is like ports, where we are having a vision of expanding the port capacity 4x. Today what we intend to become 4x. And in shipping, we are currently ranked 17th globally in terms of ship ownership. And shipbuilding also we are ranked 17th or 18th. And here our vision is to become somewhere around in the top 5, both in terms of ship ownership as well as shipbuilding. And if you look at the inland water transport and coastal shipping cargo, the idea is a growth of close to 3 to 6x kind of a growth in these segments. So when we talk about these various segments, there are specific areas where especially like startups can play a very important role. One would be the space in terms of the digital transformation, where there is a separate theme within the Maritime Amritkal vision where we are focusing on smart ports and smart shipping. So which is completely a new, innovative, evolving space. In terms of smart ports, if you look at the latest evolving themes, which is around a lot of aspects of the port operations. For example, if you take an example of a container port, we have a problem in terms of movement of containers, like you unload the ships from the containers and then place them in the yards, and then again you'll have to move the container back to the other ship that is going, or you want to ship it out of the port. So there is an issue of stacking of containers, and then retrieving a particular container involves multiple moves of containers. So if you optimize the shuffling moves of containers, that actually brings in a lot of efficiency that can be brought in. It reduces the time and it reduces the cost of operation. This is just one problem statement. So this there could be multiple ways of bringing up a solution for this problem. Similarly, we are looking at automatic berth allotment. So wherein you understand the way the port works and how each berth behaves, and then currently most of the ports today manually allot the berths. So which is a very cumbersome process, and it may not be the most optimal and most efficient way of allotting a berth. Similarly, there are other problems like how does a port communicate with the ships to ensure that the ship arrives just in time, so that the waiting time is minimized when a ship arrives in a port. So all of these are problem statements which actually many companies are working on giving different kind of solutions to it. But then with innovation and startups can really come up with out of the box solutions. So these are some examples, and all the problem statements that have been kind of today compiled together, which is been today launched, where we are expecting the startups to respond and give solutions. So these will go a long way in terms of accelerating what we are trying to achieve under the Maritime Amritkal vision.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lakshmanan, you are also a part of developing the entire policy. And could you give us a clarity on what is the thinking of government as to how the startups could flourish in the tough market situation in the context of specific provisions? Because when you come to startups, the major challenges are they have to compete in the open market, and they have to compete with leaders in the industry. And sometimes the competition could be dirty also. So what are the provisions that we are making in the S2I2 policy, and how it's going to help the startups to thrive in the market?
So this is a very important question. The Sagarmala Startup Innovation Policy that has been brought out tries to address this issue, where we are going through a robust open framework of a innovation challenge where startups participate, and if they are successful, then they are taken through a series of steps in terms of proof of concept. Then if from that they are again filtered, and whichever is found to have a potential, then they are given the pilot funding. Then after that it goes into a commercialization phase. So it's a very robust open process, and after that many times the key bottleneck is like how do we scale up the ideas or solutions which have a commercial potential. So on that particular aspect, this policy has a provision that successful pilots can be directly adopted by the ports or the PSUs without going through a standard procurement process. So that's a specific provision which has been put into this policy, considering this aspect especially. So that the idea is like already you have gone through a very robust screening process, which is open and where everybody had an opportunity to participate. So there is definitely no need of again going through a standard process of procurement. So this provides a window for successful startups to get an opportunity to scale up their solution in the major ports, or in the case of shipyards, it could be Cochin Shipyard or other defense PSUs. But one critical aspect still remains for a scale up, what will be the cost of that particular product or solution. So that is another aspect where we are working, and that's an area where probably we'll have to work together, so that like when we give them an opportunity or a right to scale up, so we'll have to find a way of determining what could be a mutually acceptable price for that scale up. So that's another aspect which needs a little more of detailing, so that ultimately this policy can be successfully grounded.
Thank you. Next, I would like to interact with MD NMC. Sir, when thinking from the NMC point of view, you are going to be the funding agency, you are going to be championing this entire effort. And what is your ideas? What is the structure that we are thinking about? And what is the process that we are thinking about as to how NMC will act successfully as a designated agency? Also, we would like to understand what are the expectations of NMC from the MIHS and the other stakeholders.
Thank you, Professor. In fact, the National Maritime Complex has been there in existence since 2008. However, not much activity happened in NMC. In fact, under the leadership of our respected Secretary Sir, recently he has revamped the entire work. He analyzed the activities, and in fact I took over in the month of April as the Managing Director of NMC. So immediately we had an interaction with Mr. Lakshmanan, Secretary Sir. The outline was very clear that the government of India want the startup ecosystem to flourish particularly into the maritime sector, and create global opportunities in this regard, and how to scale it up. For example, you would have noticed what VOC Port Chairman mentioned during his deliberation. He mentioned that for every 29 rupees expenditure, he is earning 100 rupees. But we are yet to ask the question whether 29 rupees is the ideal amount for investment to create 100 rupees. We may be able to do it at 15 rupees, 16 rupees. What is the efficiency parameter over here? So, since it is at 29 rupees, we are able to look at 100 rupees. We want that perspective where our processes can be streamlined, where our thinking could have been improved. For example, like Chennai Port Authority. Because Chennai Port Authority is 144 years old, so we always had the congestion issue at the heart of our Chennai Port. We were not able to find a solution till now, but there can be ideal solutions using technology, where RFIDs, where you can use new technologies like IoTs and identify where the parking congestion is happening, and whether we will be able to streamline this operation just in time to ensure that the container arrives at an appropriate time and leaves the area. So this could be one area of interest. Second could be, we can think of how our berths are built. We are an age-old port. Our berths, at which condition they are, they can be analyzed. Whether before it gives away or whether any maintenance activity has to be taken. Those kind of props can be made through technology in this regard. So that's where ports have an issue, ports have problem statements. We would like to understand whether the startups have the thought, innovation and the creativity to look into those problems, bring out some radical thinking into it and give a cost-effective solution. If that is the way the entire government of India is expecting the startups to be. Once the ideas are good, NMC will act as the bridge between the startup, the academia, which are the IITs, and the ports. We will try to bring in all the ports, we will try to bring in the other organizations. For example, Shipping Corporation of India, they were interacting with us earlier that they would like to understand how the underhull cleaning system can be made. So if the startups are able to bring in a good solution to it, we will be able to create the linkage between both of them and ensure a cost-effective solution is there. And once this solution is proved success in Shipping Corporation, then we can think of scaling it up at various other shipyards. We can think whether the solution can be scaled up at the global level. So that's where the Maritime Innovation Hubs, we expect that the Maritime Innovation Hubs will play a close mentorship role with those startups, guide them. In fact, it's a bridge, like there is an academia on one side, there is a field reality on the other side. So this bridge has to happen. Both the entities have to speak in understand the reality and provide a solution to it. So that's what is expected.
Thank you. See, thinking as an administrator, since you also are required to follow government rules and considering the provisions that Joint Secretary has spelled out, what do you think would be the best strategy for the startups? How do you advise them as to how should they approach to bring their solutions to the commercial ecosystem in the ports?
In fact, every port follows the procurement policy on its own. They have their own policy adopted by the board of the port. In fact, when we were discussing about startups, how they will be creating products, what will be the cost to it, we were initially looking at a cost plus model to identify, because we will be giving the grant in the initial stage at proof of concept or at pilot level. We would be like to go on a cost plus basis. What will be the cost in producing the product and some markup, and then whether that product can be successfully tested inside the port. Now, once to get it scaled up, we would like to work with the ministry, because ministry will be a very important role. We would like to incorporate into the procurement policy how the startups can be built in. Because these startups don't have a eligibility criteria to fulfill, because they are very new into the system. They don't have the number of years of experience, because our vigilance norms in every port and other organization mentions that for this product to come 3 years, you should have been in this industry, having this product being created, and they should be able to have this much turnover. So those eligibility criteria have to be set aside for the startup ecosystem to thrive, and that's where the ministry will play an important role to advise all the ports. And we at NMC will definitely nudge the ministry to go in this direction.
Thank you. Next, I would like to interact with Mr. Krishna Prasad, Cochin Shipyard Limited. Mr. Krishna Prasad, you are the first creator of the startup program in the name of the WUSHAS program, which is excellent thinking from the Cochin Shipyard and its board, right? Can you share your experiences with the program? And you have also heard from this initiative how the MIHs are going to operate. The way we have seen it, we have taken a lot of learning from the USHAS program, and we try to map it in a very generic sense so that it would be adopted by the institutions. So can you share your experience from the USHAS program, please?
Thank you, sir. So for everybody's information, we in Cochin Shipyard Limited had launched a startup program called USHAS in 2022. It was inaugurated by our Honorable Minister as part of our 50th Golden Jubilee celebration. So the whole idea of our USHAS program was not only to get solutions for the shipbuilding industry, but to get the maritime sector, the startups engaged in maritime sector to come forward. For the USHAS program, we earmarked rupees 50 CR as the corpus fund, and we divided the program into 3 verticals, namely seed funding, which is very similar to the one which we already heard about. In seed funding, we will provide rupees 50 lakhs per startup. That is mainly for bringing a minimum viable product. And the next vertical is a program called Pilot Grant Scheme. In Pilot Grant Scheme, a single startup can get up to rupees 100 lakhs, means 1 crore, and that is for commercialization of the minimum viable product. And the third vertical is equity funding. For the seed funding and for the pilot grant funding, we are not expecting any financial returns. It is basically to encourage startups come in the maritime sector. And we have identified 14 key focus areas as well. And these 14 key focus areas are spread across all the maritime sectors. It's not something related to shipbuilding or ship repair, which are the core business we do, but can be even related to finance, even related to anything that promotes even the livelihood or fishermen, related to artificial intelligence, regarding advanced materials, advanced manufacturing methods, almost all verticals which is already mentioned in our program itself. And in our program, we have taken a pragmatic approach. We basically build and repair ships. So our knowledge in managing startups is not as professional as other professionals in this area do. So we have a review and recommending agency, and we have selected IIM Kozhikode Live and IIT Madras as our review and recommending agency. And through these agencies, we implement the program. So as on date, we have actually given funding to 17 startups. We have given funding to 16 startups for seed funding and 2 startups for pilot grant scheme. And as on date, we have already now shortlisted 5 more startups by IIT Madras and 3 more startups by IIM Kozhikode for pilot scheme as well. So if you count the portfolio of startups which we invested, we have now funded 22 different startups. And the benefit what CSL gets is, even though the problem statements are not directly related to CSL, but the problem statements which the startups are addressing is being adopted in one way or the other for various of our projects.
By other applications.
Yes. And as Lakshman sir and Vishwanath sir has told, we tried to accommodate them with some, like adopting their technology. So it's like a proprietary technology being adopted. So likewise, we are now onboarding few startups, especially for, now we are making a new solution for auto docking of the ships to reduce the manpower associated with docking and seating of vessels. Now improving the safety, we have funded few startups, and we have funded few startups, especially in the underwater inspection and cleaning side, and few startups who are very focused in developing flexible robots, which has numerous applications across industries. So we are glad that we started the journey a bit early, and we are also a part of the Nine's team in collaborating with the other sister concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. See, for the startups to flourish, for the innovation to flourish, research and development is one of the key things that should happen in the institutions and in the industry. So in that context, I would like Mr. Ashwath to speak about what are the R&D schemes that are available with the industry. Now we know that in the budget there is a specific focus on Maritime Development Fund, and how the funds will be deployed, and what is the funds that will be available for R&D directly from the ministry.
Thank you. First of all, I want to quote, innovate or perish. There goes the saying. So unless we go for innovation, we cannot survive. So having said that, the Sagarmala has started way back in 2015. But the momentum it has gained in the last 4 or 5 years, what I have seen, it is tremendous. So the Prime Minister has given us a huge task. By 2047, our economy should grow to the extent of around 30 trillion economy. And also by 2030, we have to grow into the 3rd largest economy in the world. But for achieving this, is it possible without technology? It is not so. So the Sagarmala, when our Secretary Sahab reviewed that, he realized that there is a necessity of bringing all the players together. Like we have around 208 non-major ports, 12 major ports, 27 shipyards. But how to bring them together to work for a common aim? That is where the NAVIC cells came into existence. 26 NAVIC cells with various topics. It may be green shipping or HR, and this particular NAVIC cell number 9, research, innovation and startup. This has come into existence with the VC of the IMU as the nodal officer for NAVIC cell, and our Honorable Joint Secretary as the nodal officer for the VIBA cell. I am as the additional nodal officer. Here we have one research scheme which has been running since maybe around 25 to 30 years. But because of lack of funds, somewhere when we say that research means it should be limited to 1 or 2 crores. We were devoting only small funds. Okay. But in the recent times, the 4 or 5 years, we were able to take up big funding projects.
Okay.
Like, for example, in Cochin shipyard, we have taken one project called autonomous vessel. Means without any help, it can go on its own without manning. Mm-hmm. So that project costing around 40 crores, one project. We have taken it up. And in the coming years, hydrogen cell vessels.
Okay.
That also costing around 45 crores that we are going to take it up. And as far as this research scheme is there, we have 3 segments. One is the port sector, another is the inland waterway sector, and another is this shipping sector. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, our Deputy Chairperson Chennai Port told, in the dredger we have to import everything. Because I know the case very well, because we are building one of the biggest dredger in the country, 12,000 cubic meter capacity hopper dredger. But still we are facing some problems because we have to import everything from the Netherlands, whether it is navigation equipment or the engine, all it is imported, only fabrication is done, but we lack technology. Because there are 72 blocks which are built, they should be assembled together, they should be, it should be launched, it is running behind time. They boast that we can build it in 24 months, here it is more than 36 months or over. So all this require the young minds to come forward. Secretaries have told what we are lacking. As per my assessment, we are lacking in entrepreneurship. We want some employer to deploy us. So take me as a clerk, as an engineer, and we will work. But we are not ready to face the world as an entrepreneur. We are afraid. We should shed that kind of a atmosphere. I give the example of Narayan Murthy. He didn't have money, but he didn't want to go as a clerk or an engineer. He borrowed 10,000 rupees from Sudha Murthy, his wife, because she was working for Tata for some time. And it went on to build such a big company. Now it is providing employment to at least around 5 to 6 lakhs. So that should be the spirit. So if we can get the spirit, we can definitely go forward. Our country of 130 billion people in the maritime sector can definitely, like our Deputy Chairman told, 1 or 2 like that. I can say it may be 10 or 20 unicorn will come up in the next 5 to 10 years. You want to run that research scheme, just 2 minutes?
Yeah, you can highlight about the research scheme.
Just only 2 minutes. I run that PPT, please run. So I can explain if it is getting late. I will explain.
Yeah, I think you can explain.
In 2, 3, this thing I will explain. See, as I explained, it is in 3 sectors, port, shipping and IWT sector. The main objective is to carry out research project and study in the port, harbor, inland waterway, shipping and shipbuilding sector. And here we have carried out a number of, we have a research committee under the chairmanship of Special Secretary with our Joint Secretary and other experts from Niti Aayog, Major Ports, CWPRS, Ministry of Science and Technology. So the committee, after going through the projects, they make recommendation and the Secretary Saab will be approving the projects, and based on that we will be funding this thing. Some of the main projects in the recent times, which include the development of autonomous vessel in the maritime sector, and also this usage of dredge materials. We have given it to IIT Bombay. They have made a headway and they have given how you can utilize with the cooperation of the industries, and also ameliorate dredged sediments, and how you can develop resilient breakwater for the tsunami waves. All these projects have given good results, and in Cochin especially, the siltation problem has been studied, and we can bring the cost of the dredging by 50 crores. So I call upon all our young minds and young engineers to make use of this research project also, and the ship design also, because like Secretary Saab told, we are just in 1%, but we are in a big way going for a ship cluster development. So in the coming years, we would ask your opportunity to develop such innovative ideas, and the funding is not a problem, so that we can go at least 5th or 6th in the all over the world in ship design and ship breaking. Thank you.
Thank you. Professor Prabhu Rajagopal, you have been one of the successful innovators in the IIT Madras research ecosystem, and the startup ecosystem that has flourished under your leadership in many avatars and in many facets of the industry applications has been known to everybody. So we would like you to share your thoughts with the various students and innovators here, and also to the industry. What is that we are expecting from the industry? What is the facilitation that we need? If you could throw some light on this, that will be great.
Thank you so much, Professor Murli. Thank you also for having me on this panel. So I represent a few things here. I represent IIT Madras's innovation and startup ecosystem. Sir, you mentioned T-Hub, so I took a lot of offense. I think IIT Madras's innovation ecosystem is, of course, that's what we like to think, is much better than what the Hyderabad ecosystem is. Of course, it's a healthy competition, sir. So I represent our pre-venture, which is the Nirman, and the maker space, which is the Center for Innovation. And I'm also representing Planis here. So Planis was my first foray into the startup world, created almost 10 years ago. Now it is no more a startup as per DIPP. and so we are not eligible for any deductions, any concessions and so on. But anyway, so the deep tech in the maritime sector is even more challenging than deep tech in the general sector. Generally speaking, in this country, I think creating and scaling hardware startups is a very big challenge. And the reasons are many. One is that capital is not easily available for startups. Whenever we go to government expects that innovators will go out and raise money from the VC market. But the VCs, what they expect is that we start getting revenue. And so it's a chicken and egg problem. So generating revenues is also very challenging, primarily because the ports is fragmented. Even if suppose Planis, for example, was India's first underwater robot company. Now, of course, there is a few more. Planis also developed India's first automated underwater vehicles or marine drones and is working with Indian Navy. But in the initial years, we did work for one port, for example, but it was not scalable to another port. Again, the same pattern repeats. You go do a pilot, you do a job, and then you try to expect a repeat order. And then every port we go, it's the same process. And payment also, the cycle can be very delayed. And the maritime sector is also one in which the costs are very high because we are importing a lot of sensors. Of course, today we are indigenizing many parts and components, but even things like DVLs, your acoustic pingers, sonars, these are all actually made by foreign companies. There is very few companies, as far as I know, there is nobody who's making these commercially. There are research solutions available. So the costs are also high. Almost if you touch any part, it's anywhere between 20-25 lakhs to get something very good. So the investment that a startup has to make upfront to make a product is in the range of 40-50 lakhs, whereas the return is very delayed. So the payments are small. For example, we can expect to get an order, typical order of the value of a couple of lakhs. Whereas you make a robot for 50 lakhs and you wait for 20 orders to even with that first make as such. And so large orders are lacking. The ecosystem is fragmented. There is no centralized authority that can decide for all ports. So you mentioned, sir, that IMA, can sort of liaise between universities and ports. That will be a great thing. If we can have a centralized procurement and then say that it is proven in 2 ports, so therefore it can be used in several other ports, that will be an amazing thing. NTCPWC was a great support for startups, and I think, sir, I hope that phase 2, phase 3, and so on will continue as well. And the Cochin Shipyard initiative as well is an exceptional scheme where these kinds of grants, whether it is 20 lakhs or 50 lakhs or 1 crore, the order value, the support is more important than anything else, because we are then not only getting support but also getting inroads into the port and shipping ecosystem as such. So, and the other thing is you mentioned research also, sir. So I think there is a lot of research that also needs to be done in peripherals. Whereas when we talk about maritime, we usually talk about shipping or ports or robots, but the peripherals such as sensors, these pingers, sonars, and so on. Also, there is a big need for indigenization, and here the costs are so high; it's extremely difficult to enter. And VC money is not available because what they feel is the market is very niche, and so that's the challenge that startups are facing. So Planis was started in 2015. 2025, the company is still only valued around 300 crores. Whereas Aether Electric Energy, which started around similar time, has become a unicorn at the same time. So it required extraordinary amount of support from the IIT Madras ecosystem, whether it is through NTCPWC or our labs contacts in oil and gas, to support the startup to get to this stage. It shouldn't take so long to scale startups in the maritime sector. And this is the big responsibility I see and I place in the hands of the industry in this segment, from a startup founder perspective.
Since you have a lot of experience, what would be your 2 items in the wish list that you want from the government?
Definitely, one is policy, in the sense that can there be large orders? So we are getting few lakhs orders, but can we get going from few lakhs to few crores of orders? And government also has to revise their numbers and values these days. Even 50 lakhs or 1 crore is not a big number because of the costs involved. We are importing sensors, incurring duties, startups have no exemptions and so on. So the margins are very thin. So that is the first thing I would say, large orders. Second thing is unification of the procurement process. Those would be the top two wish lists as per me. Thank you.
I'm sure the point that was addressed by Joint Secretary will cover the process issue to some extent. The other procurement issues, I'm sure MD NMC will be able to take it up further. Thank you, Professor Prabhu. Dr. Balaji, coming to the academic ecosystem, right? Given the IMU's positioning, you are in one of the prominent positions to take this initiative forward, and we need to now produce a pipeline of young entrepreneurs and innovators from the institutions, and we also find them from the outside world and nurture them. So what is your thought process as a MIH at IMU to achieve this?
Yeah, thanks. The first thing I would like to observe is this successful model of triple helix, that is this industry, academia and government, which many of the US ecosystems, they have tried it. So I suppose that this should work well. For IMU, we are the latest ones. Probably I can say that we are kids in this business. IITs are far ahead. So we have to stand on the shoulders of the giants. We have additional challenges also. The major challenge is that our core programs, they are all sea carrier oriented. So, and it's a very high paying job. So we have to turn the attention of the students towards entrepreneurship. This is going to be a big challenge for us. The second thing is to bring in that ecosystem which shows that ideation can happen. That has to happen within the university. For this, obviously, I have to look up to institutes like IITs, etc. That is what we see. But with the support of the ministry, I suppose all other things like the processes and other issues should get sorted out. That's what I believe. This NMC transformation itself, I was part of it in the early stages when this was actually revived. This complex was actually supposed to bring in a whole lot of things, where university was the last item on the list. They wanted to have a big heritage museum and then malls, and then they wanted to have this, but by the time the university arrived, so this one went into the back burner, and then we were just accumulating the interest on this, and we revived it at some point of time, thanks to NMHC, but later on the ideas changed. But here we are that these the complex as well as the funding is put into good use. I suppose that it will help IMU. Yes, please.
See, given the ecosystem, your focus on teaching is much larger, training is much larger than research ecosystem. So, what are the initiatives that you are likely to take in order to turn this around and include a sufficient or significant amount of research into the ecosystem?
Yeah. There are two approaches what we took. One was, of course, we kept on banging the walls or the doors of the ministry, and then we have got some projects which are there on the ground. The second one is to approach our own sister concerns for consultancies. That is another strategy what we had adopted. Like we built an autonomous vessel for Inland Waterways Authority of India, and we have some projects going on with IIT Kharagpur for DRDO or the defense people, etc. So our thrust has largely been to position ourselves with original research, academic research through the ministry, but otherwise go to the industry for some sub-projects. That is the strategy we will continue till we mature into having that kind of heft, or you can say the traction in research. Yeah.
Thank you. Professor Bera, the most important institute in this initiative will be IIT Bombay. along with Kharagpur and Madras. And you are also situated in a industrially highly concentrated zone, and you have apparently a lot of strengths compared to Kharagpur or Madras. So, what is the plan that IIT Bombay is going to follow? You know the IIT Madras ecosystem also. So, how this is going to thrive in IIT Bombay? Can you throw some light on this so that the audience will be?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for this whole conglomeration that is done here. And in terms of the participation and contribution from IIT Bombay, we have Ocean Engineering Division, where we are already having a lot of physical as well as other computational facilities. We are doing research. In addition, this initiative, what we are talking about, the NMC and MIH and fostering the startup culture, we have a very good ecosystem in terms of we have the research hub or research park, we call it. Then we have SIGN, which is basically supporting the startups and ecosystems for the startups. And we have Makerspace as well. In addition, we have a lot of faculty members. As you mentioned, it is not about the core research alone. It is the ancillary research, peripheral research that is required. We have a lot of faculty members who have been working together towards the innovations in terms of underwater ROVs and things like monitoring. So people are working on smart monitoring. So that is very, very essential for port sectors as well as maritime sectors, because all the facilities that we have in ports, we need to have regular monitoring with low-cost sensors. That is what is the major concern. Because if we have to get sensors and install it everywhere and then expect that they will be very highly expensive, it is impossible to do it. So there are a lot of research going on in terms of low-cost sensor, but the challenge is they are being done for other sectors. Now, expertise is there. We have to now mobilize them and get the interest and bring them on board for the maritime sector, which is not difficult, but it is a challenge that we should accept. In addition, we are having another challenge, that is basically the smart monitoring and servicing sector. So in ports, that is where the cost cutting is going to happen. And many of our faculty members who are working in basically logistics as well as monitoring aspects, that is where we will also be able to contribute. And in whole setup, we have been working with a lot of maritime boards, and we have also worked with ports. So we will be able to talk to them in a closer loop now. And that is anyway going to be the major guideline as well as the facility that we have through this setup, where NMC or the MIF is going to bring on board, or they have already brought on board all the ports, thanks to all the ports and NMC for that. So here the idea of bringing the startup or providing the startups a platform to experiment their ideas is already in place. So we have the provision, we have the ports, they have already come on board, they can test it. So many things, many costs for the startups are actually kind of implicitly taken care. They don't have to approach the port, they don't have to pay for that, it will be facilitated. So similarly, in IIT, we have a lot of facilities which they will be able to use. Obviously, there will be some expenses that will be incurred towards that, but it is not going to be a challenge. It will be much convenient, easier, and all these MIH, which are there at IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, as well as IMU, we will have that agenda of facilitating the startup and handholding them and again connecting them to the right ports and service sectors and then take it forward. So that is where I think it will be really successful. Obviously, we have challenges, we will have to take it, but we have to be positive and again work hard. As we have been told since the beginning of this session, that we are looking towards the Viksit Bharat 2047. So we have to work 4 times harder and put 4 times, or I would say multiple times more than that, so that we can reach up or come up to that stage. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Bera. I have a few more points to query with the panelists here. But before that, any queries from the floor, from the audience? Yes, Krishnakant.
Myself, Kiran, I'm from a company called, our startup called Defy Gravity. So my question is more on the using data side of it. We are expert in using satellite data and assisting surveillance of coastal of India, where we assist in helping them identify dark vessels, ship-to-ship exchanges, which again falls under maritime. So my question is, from that perspective, are there any ideas or initiatives will be taken from this particular committee to come up with a solution which can be provided to Navy or coastal guards? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I can answer that. Right now, there is a set of 41 challenges which have been identified. The website is available for access now. I wish you to go through that. And we will also provide a feedback window within this period of competition. So in case you would like to propose some challenges that you think is good for the industry, please propose that. We will take it up with NMC and the users, and we will probably expand the list of the challenges. Krishnakant, you want something?
Good evening. Yeah, good evening. I'm an MTech student. I'm in my second year. So I have a series of questions.
Keep the mic close to your mouth, yeah.
Yeah. I have a series of questions, not just one. So I hope you understand.
Only one question will be allowed. You can choose the most important one.
All right. So in that case, let's say, as a student's perspective, I being an IITian right now, given an opportunity to give a solution for the questions, like the problems, real-time problems. So what happens, let's say I could not find a solution, due to the deadline is done, I am unable to fill the form. As an IITian, do I get a privilege post-graduation for me to reapply for this? Or if yes?
I think since you are, the ecosystem allows you to probably come back to us, and in case there are solutions which could be proposed, we could separately take it up and nurture the ideas. Those things will be possible under this ecosystem. The MIHS will help you with that. And if there is something promising that's coming out, we will also connect with the NMC and the users, and we will sure that this is not lost through the cracks. So we will enable these things. Yeah.
Also hoping someone...
That's the second question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So am I allowed to ask?
Yeah, please.
So let's say hoping for the highs, some startup, some idea is being very good and it is being sponsored by the program. So let's say we know that NASA is using SpaceX platforms, ISRO is using our space agency platforms like Dhruv Space and all the other space. So let's say we go in the same direction and our startup also go in the same direction and reach milestones and to the sky. So we will also be getting opportunities to interact with countries, like what do you say, like the top-notch ports, where we will be able to deliver our services. Is that a possibility for our program?
You would like to answer? Ms. Lakshmi.
Yes, yeah, you will be.
We will enable that.
Yes, that should be possible.
Yeah. So one more aspect I will add here, sir. So he is telling that can they reach to the top ports? So the idea is we will make our Indian ports the top ports.
Maybe just to expand on that, like our Indian ports are pretty, large in terms of if you compare the global ports. And second, our Indian ports have a lot of collaboration tie-ups with leading international ports. For example, Jawaharlal Nehru Port has a collaboration with Antwerp Port. And similarly, like, we are now engaging into a green and digital shipping MOU with the Singapore Port Authority. So access to these kind of global entities, if you have the right solution and right product, should not be a challenge.
Thank you, Krishnakant. I now would like to request Mr. Viswanathan to throw some light into the parallel activities which are going on, especially the IMW. I'll come back to you.
In fact, Managing Director of Indian Port Association, he was supposed to be here, but due to some parallel event happening in Taj Connemara, he couldn't make it. So I take this opportunity on behalf of Indian Port Association to invite all of you for the India Maritime Week, which is scheduled to be held in Mumbai between 27th October to 31st October. Honorable Prime Minister of India will be inaugurating the event. More than 100 countries are partnering the event. Obviously, all the major ports, non-major ports, big industry leaders in the maritime sector will be participating in that event. You will have opportunities for interactions in international arena. There will be government to business interactions. There will be B2B interactions. Exhibition stalls will be there. Additionally, there will be where international workforce can be tapped, those opportunities also will be there. Innovation and technology showcase, policy and thematic sessions. So all these have been planned during the last week of October at Mumbai. At this point of time, I also would like to inform all of you that during the marathon that is being organized, we will also ensure that top 25 startups which have been identified will be provided free of cost exhibition space in Mumbai, so that you get a platform in the international arena to showcase your products, your thoughts, your brilliant ideas over there, so that many industry pioneers will be able to monitor it, see it, and the scaling up opportunities also can be explored. That will be one initiative that NMC will take up with Indian Ports Association in this regard. I encourage all of you to take this opportunity to participate in large numbers, come out with brilliant thoughts and provoking ideas in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Viswanathan. I think there was a question there. Very brief question. We are beyond the time. Yes.
First of all, thank you very much to IIT Madras for inviting us to this wonderful opportunity. Respected panel members and other fellow entrepreneurs. I want to point out two things what we are facing in the development of new technology. One is, just like Sir mentioned, many of these components we have to import from abroad. And one major challenge what we are facing is bringing it into through the customs channels. Many times we have faced that this particular component may not have a particular specific HSN code, which is getting into many delay in the customs. Also, sometimes the BAS, when we are importing in large quantity, this BAS is often not there. So it is becoming a bigger hurdle for us to getting into the largest level manufacturing process. And another one concern is related to the classification certification, because myself, I am representing DigiShip. We are here as a startup. Also, we are manufacturing some another decarbonization products like energy saving products and all. We have exported our panels to various ships, and now at present it is running in 46 ships in a Singapore-based company. One of the key challenges what we are facing is getting a marine classification certificate, because these testing facilities are not available in India. So if you approach a Singapore-based American Bureau of Shipping or something, the cost is coming around per category, $100,000 is the testing and certification cost. So this is adding a bigger hurdle to the developing this business. I would like to know what the government of India can do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's a very important point that you have brought out. Like this, we are seized of this. In fact, like this has come up in a few other discussions with the industry, where though Indian companies are manufacturing, ancillaries or components which go into shipbuilding, but since the volume and the business opportunity to start with is very small, they are not able to spend the amount and get the certification done. So in this, like what is happening is like we are coming up with a scheme for shipbuilding capacity and capability creation. So this is already like, in advanced stages of approval within the government. So that scheme has different components in terms of supporting, research and development and testing, etc. So within that budget, I think we should be able to support these kind of, potential products for international certification. So certification is a small cost, but still for individual company, like they may find it to be, a cost which could be unaffordable, or even larger companies don't, if they don't have a business case, they don't want to spend money on, getting the certification done. So this, I think we are, the scheme could, help address this cost of certification. And through NMC also, this could be taken up, which we had actually discussed. Few potential, components that go into shipbuilding that needs international classification certification could be taken up as a, initial pilot intervention from NMC also. NMC also has a corpus which could be used for such purposes. So this we will take it up, and I think through the Maritime Innovation Hub in IIT and NMC can coordinate, and then we can definitely start off with this. And for more such initiatives, I think the scheme should also be in place very shortly. So then I think in the long run, that scheme is for the next 10 years. So I think that could take care of this issue, but it is important. Thanks for flagging.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmanan. Now I think we have come to the concluding part of the session. It has been wonderful going through different important points of this entire ecosystem, and thanks for participation. Now we have come to the concluding part, which is the signing of the MOU. Some document of understanding has been created between from the institutes of the 4 institutes. So we would like to exchange those documents of understanding with the MD NMC, and as a commitment from the MIHS. I invite Secretary to witness this. Still one phase before the MOU phase.
Madras. No. We will now have the exchange of MOU between NMC and IIT Bombay. We have Professor Manasaranjan Behera from IIT Bombay. We'll now have the MOU between NMC and IIT Kharagpur. We have Professor Anirban Bhattacharya from IIT Kharagpur. And finally we have the MOU between NMC and IMU. We have Pro VC from IMU. That's it for now. We all expect your immense participation in MAR-a-Thon 2025. Looking forward to meet you all. We'll now break for tea. We also have our Maritime Startup Exhibition outside the hall. Please do visit, where innovative startups will showcase their cutting-edge solutions for maritime industry. Additionally, we also have a special tour to Sudha Shankar Innovation Hub, where you can witness IIT Madras' vibrant innovation ecosystem. We will have volunteers outside the building who will take you from this building to the ecosystem tour. Thank you. Have a great day.